Good afternoon. It is Thursday, September 29th. Skipped yesterday. I worked the late hours at work helping with training team yesterday as well as today. And so after work yesterday, I just went and watched the Dwarven Forge live stream, and that was basically my entire evening. Because I got off like just after it had started, so yeah. Now this morning, since working the later shift, I started a little later. I did get to check out some of the One D&D playtest packet 2 stuff, expert classes, the rogue, bard, and the ranger. Now also an expert. Very cool. Very cool. I'm liking it. I'm liking some of the changes. There's always little things, and I'm like, whatever. But I mean, overall, I am happy with how things seem to be progressing. So, and I'm looking forward to whatever this next iteration of D&D is going to be. And as I'm reading through that, I am deciding, do I think that's what I'm going to move on to? Or this Level Up Advanced 5th Edition that I backed. And as I'm looking through things, they're solving some of the things that I got problems with. I'm liking little things like the introduction of things like the jump action, like clarifying how jump works, making... and then things like the study and some of the other action, just a few new action options that that add the missing rules that I've been trying to jury rig for the last 8 years. So, fun. I'm enjoying that. I like D&D. Now, for dinner, what do I want to do for dinner? I have had, for many months, I didn't label them, hot dogs in my freezer. I got a set of hot dogs, I broke it down into like 4 small little packs, and I put them in the freezer. And now they've gained a lot of ice around them, so I took out one of those packs today. It's still got a little frost on it, and I'm hoping, usually frozen foods with frost on it, I think, not good. And maybe that is going to be the case. And this is going to be garbage. But I have that. Because they're one of the things I got to be able to just last a long time. But at a certain point, I need to eat them. Particularly because I'm really only a few months away from needing to eat some of the beans that I got to go with them. Because when I was a kid, I would eat, we would call them Beanies and Weenies. Just baked beans. Cut up hot dogs. Add protein. And so, I'll figure probably only use half this can, which means I'll probably be having this again sooner than later. I'm gonna try that. So I'm gonna just cut these up into little bits, start warming them up, get a little browning on them. Hopefully that'll help with whatever issues the frost may have caused. And then bake them in with some baked beans. Have some beanies and weenies. Looking it up online, it says, also known as Franks and Beans. And I'm I never heard that growing up. It was always beanies and weenies. But as an adult, I did look it up because I'm is it just me that called it that? Because that seems like a very childish term. Oh, and part of the reason I decided to do it is because I got a little bit of extra bread. And you know what goes good with it? Bread and butter. Do I know that? I don't know. I haven't had it for probably 20 years. It was the last time I had beanies and weenies. But I have a memory that bread and butter goes good with it. So I'm gonna have that. Why not? So having put it together, beanies and weenies doesn't look very appetizing. Yeah, no, it's But I ate it, and I mean, the hot dogs weren't bad. I mean, they weren't good, but I think they're just taste like hot dogs. So I don't think the fact that there was frost around them really negatively impacted them. They're just hot dogs. So it was an alright meal, not great. But I only ate maybe half of it, and I am stuffed. And I'm like, man, I didn't expect that. And then it's all like, oh yeah, well, I suppose that's, half a can of beans, which isn't unfilling, and then 4 hot dogs that I put in there. And I'm like, I guess, like I'm thinking of like an equal quantity of something like pasta. Because I make, the Alfredo pasta, and I have to get a decent chunk to fill me up. A lot smaller portion fills me up on this, because it's a lot more, like protein, and so it doesn't taste great. The bread and butter, that tastes great, but then again, everybody loves sourdough, so of course it does. Otherwise, I don't have a huge amount of evening left, so I worked the late shift. One of the things I was thinking is, with that new One D&D playtest document out, tomorrow should be fun. I have to work, of course, in the day, but then I get, food with friends in the evening. And, sometimes we struggle with keeping the conversation on things that I know about, and they just start talking about, like, books or silly video games or whatever it is. But we got lots of D&D stuff to talk about tomorrow, so I look forward to that. I'll get the document moved onto my phone so I have access to it. But otherwise, yeah, I guess clean up the... Like, I don't think I even want to save the leftovers. It was not good. It was filling. It was filling. That's what it was. Thank you for joining me. Joining me as my journey continues. Bye.